You ready? Welcome back to our knockdown rebuild project in McKinnon, Melbourne, where we are sharing all of our save and splurge design tips on our latest project. And I'm really excited today because episode 6 is about our bathroom wet area designs. So I'm going to make this a little mini masterclass. We're going to go through the floor plan of each of the areas. I'm going to share with you some of the fundamental details of the designs that we've done, and obviously some of those key measurements that I think are really important for you to consider when you are renovating or building new wet areas and bathrooms in your home, and also some of the things to consider now with new building legislation requirements, and also some of the new rules in Victoria, which I will share. So this episode is going to be packed full of details. So get your pens ready to start taking some notes, and I will see you in the ensuite first. Welcome to the bathroom design. So this is, I think, one of my favorite rooms of the home, and I'm probably going to say that in every episode and as we go along with all of our designs, but I just feel like this has come together so beautifully and really connects with the home, and I think just so functional from a perspective of everything we've included and the sizing. So I'm going to go through all of the bathroom designs, but first up we have the ensuite. So you would have remembered from episode 2 when we have gone through the floor plans, and the layout was coming into the master suite. You walk through the middle of the walk-in robe and then through to the middle to the ensuite. So that has given us this nice open plan feel to the space, allowing us to have dual vanities on one side and shower to the right, as you can see, and then we have toilet to the left, and then we also have the bath on the window side. So this feels nice and open, and I think with all the materials and finishes that we have included, a really high-end luxury feel has been created. Now, the one thing that I do love here is that we are bringing through the Rubra oak from Polytech from the kitchen into the ensuite and the walk-in robe. So we're showing that cohesion through the home in some of the design finishes. The tiles are a very neutral finish, and we are going with a 600 by 600 tile in these spaces. So don't be afraid to spec down that tile size. I feel like when we chat to clients and we go through these design journeys, clients just automatically feel that bigger is better for the tiles. And yes, they do look amazing, but there is generally a cost factor to consider as well. There is more of a higher price for larger tiles, and then the labor intensity of laying different size tiles can be quite costly as well. And when you are considering the flow on your floors, so the direction of water going back to the drains and tile cuts, those things need to be considered with the type of tile you're selecting as well, particularly when laws that have come in for building in the NCC guidelines have got quite strict around the fall of water and where those water stops need to sit, and then this can impact your wet areas quite greatly, and where you might need shower screens and where you might not be able to get away with having an open shower. So materials and finishes wise, chatting a little bit more about that in detail. You would have seen in the last episode, we have been into the Icon Bathware showroom, and we are so excited to work with them. I found the Bella Vista range through them in the bronzed brush finish, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I think it's perfect for this home. And so they are working with us to supply the tapware, like our shower fixtures, our toilets, and our in-wall toilet push plates. We are doing our sinks with them, and as you'll see in the future bathrooms when I show you those, we have included undermount and above counter sinks in different styles in the Bella Vista range in a really beautiful latte color, which we haven't used before. Again, another really nice connection to the home palette and the finishes that we have chosen with Polytech. So, one of the questions that we always get asked around bathroom design is when we chat about showers and vanities and bath placements and thinking about the general layout. So when this home has come together, you would have seen in the original plans, as I mentioned, you walk through the walk-in robe to the ensuite. We ended up pinching a little bit of space from the ensuite and gave it back to the walk-in robe. We just felt like that space could be a little bit large, a little bit wider internally to walk around and open doors. And it was probably a little bit wasted in the ensuite. And let's be honest, a little bit of the cost saving on tiles and labor there can probably be a benefit. So in the bathroom space, we are roughly 6 meters wide, a little bit over 6 meters, and we are 2.3 on the depth. So our vanities are around 550 deep. And when we do our vanity heights, we always go for a finish level at 900 high. So you need to remember that that is a 900 high from the like top of your stone finish. So that needs to be adjusted if you are doing an above counter sink versus an undermount sink. So if you have an above counter sink, you want to make sure your finish height is 900 from that top of the sink and then down. So those are the things to consider when you are doing your vanity heights and whether your sink is above counter or undermount. We have both styles in this home. We then usually have our tapware sitting at around 150 to 170 from bench height, which we find is really easy to access, but also when you turn it on doesn't create a huge splash of water everywhere as well if the tap is too far up the wall. Generally, you'll notice that we haven't done face level storage in this bathroom, and we generally always do that. And I've gone a little bit against the grain on this one. I do feel like we have loads of storage. So we have all of this storage in this bathroom space. We also have the separate makeup area behind the master bedroom wall. So we have a full walk-in robe in here. We also have a wall behind the bedhead wall that will have joinery and a full makeup area counter, or could be a desk, could be whatever you want to use that for. And that has storage in it as well. So this is a great space for a lot of storage. So I felt like we could get away with not having face level storage on the wall here. Also, with the way that our shower is designed, if we had face level storage from side to side, that would stick out a little bit and I feel like might look a little bit odd here. So these are all little things that we look at as designers. I really wanted that nice symmetrical balance of looking at the view so both sides are the same. And we have the sink offset here, so we have a good amount of counter space each side, which means we don't lose storage in this area as well, because we can have the plumbing go down the back of this side of the drawers so that these will be full storage on either side, and we won't lose that for the cutout of the drainage, the waste pipe. So there's lots of benefits to the type of way we have designed it. These mirrors will have a really nice brushed brass finish, and we have angled our overhead lighting to face into the mirrors and bounce back into your face to create a really nice light and less shadows. So you don't need a huge amount of lights in a bathroom. You just need them to be in the right location, focusing on the areas that you actually use. And this goes for all the rooms in the home, which in further episodes we'll do a bit of a lighting plan episode, because I love to light spaces in an intentional way and not just have a sea or a grid of downlights. So that is very much a focus of this home as well. So moving through, you can see some of the elements of the design here. If we go to the next one, you can see the opposite side of the room. So we've got the beautiful bath in front of the window. We have our privacy film on the window here. So we're actually going to do a fluted or ribbed glass to 1700 high here in the wet areas to make sure that we comply with the privacy rules. And I do have a beautiful sheer curtain over the top with some pin lights focusing down here as a really nice detail as well. And you can see that with so many features in the space, you are not going to look at those walls or floor and think, oh gosh, 600 by 600 tiles are so boring. Absolutely not. If that's going to be an amazing cost saver for you, then 100% do it, because I feel like there are so many other elements in a bathroom space that can be a hero and look really beautiful and not impact, the aesthetic and feel of your design. We have this beautiful bath that we're going to be getting from Icon Bathware, and the bath filler, which matches the Bella Vista range that we're using, and it does have the extra little arm on that to also clean the bath, and that is what everyone wants. So chatting a little bit about the NCC guidelines and compliance requirements for wet areas. They are now classed as a open shower or an enclosed shower. So there are certain stipulations around where those water stops need to be for the flow of water to go back to the shower head, and where waterproofing starts and finishes in a space, and if your whole area needs to be waterproofed based on those guidelines, and if you have an open shower. So a lot of these things now are a lot stricter. They're not something that is sort of just like, oh, we'll have a little step down here and, the shower screen can go that far, and we won't have a door because we have waterproof to this point. It's not a if or a maybe. It needs to be these exact certain guidelines that builders need to meet. So I think what's important when you do start designing is you need to have these discussions with your architects and your designers about what's important to you from a perspective of the way that you want to live and what you want to invest in these spaces. If you absolutely don't want shower screens, then more waterproofing happens. Graded floors need to be really considered. Those water stops need to be put in at certain points. And there's a little bit more labor work involved in making sure that that is doable and that you comply. So have those discussions early on, so you're not getting to the end of your plans being finalized and the architect or designer has put in all these shower screens, and then you're in a position where you're like, oh, well, I don't want those. And then maybe certain things need to be redesigned or budget adjusted to allow for extra works. The same goes for the new accessibility laws in Victoria with spaces as well need to be made to cater for an aging generation and accessibility. So there's certain things that need to be incorporated into a space for wheelchair access. So in our wellness space downstairs, we've allowed for the 900 by 1200 clearance around the toilet space and a shower that can have a wheelchair wheeled into that. And also there needs to be reinforcement in walls to allow for future grab rails if needed as well. So those things need to be considered in the designs before they will be approved too for new builds in Victoria. So that is a very generalized view over those two topics, something that very much needs to be discussed with your designers before you start going in and just designing for what you want. Certain compliance needs to meet so that you get your building in permit. So I just wanted to give you an overview of that. We have chosen to do shower screens throughout to make things a little bit easier for the showers and meet the clearance requirements of the flow of water and things like that too. So like I said, very general overview, but I feel like that will give you enough to make sure you raise that question when you are building and designing. So coming back to some of the details in here, we are doing the in-wall cistern toilets, and we have got the matching bronze, sorry, I was going to say brass, I mean bronze plate, and we're going with the Gibberit range of toilets. So something that was in the previous episode we chatted to Zach about in the Icon showroom, and he gave us a really good brand recommendation. I have used these toilets before, and we will 100% be using these in this home and other clients' homes moving forward. They come with a great reputation and I think are really cost effective as well. So some of the other things to consider in your bathroom design is if you are doing niches or ledges. So generally ledges might bring out another 100 mil into your shower space, so consider your sizing. When you are doing face level storage, don't forget to include power points inside. We're going to have some power points inside the drawer area here to plug in hair dryers and electric toothbrushes and things like that. But if you are doing face level storage, you want to be able to open that up and have a power point inside those too, which is a great way to be able to hide the electric toothbrush in there as well. What else do we have? Don't forget to think about, like I said before, lighting. Other options that you might want to include in your bathroom designs are laundry hampers, you know, where you can put in your dirty clothes. We've got some of those going in the wardrobe. So that's something that you could definitely consider in your designs. And again, like I mentioned before, really thinking about continuity and flow of your finishes and materials, and making sure that you really think about your home as a whole when you are designing. Okay, let's move on to the next wet area space. So we have our upstairs bathroom space in the home, which I'll scroll through down here so you can see the render. So this would be the family bathroom. This is in between the 3 bedrooms that are up there, and will be used, say, by the kids, or, you know, that area where it's a multi-use space. We have gone with the lighter palette of the joinery in this space, still the 600 by 600 tiles that are a little bit more affordable, and the same tapware and finishes throughout. We have a really nice, beautiful little light on the wall here. It has a shower space on this side, which will have a door, and we have a toilet on this side and the bathtub on this side. So a really good use of space. We have maximized the square, you know, the footprint of the space. It's roughly a 3 by 3. So this ensures that we don't have wasted space in the middle that could be in other rooms in the home, but we still get a decent sized shower, which is a metre wide from memory, and we have a 1700 bath, which is a really good size, in-wall toilet, and a really good sized vanity as well. And this has the face level storage in it too. We have drawers throughout, and we have a small little joinery cabinet here that could either be a little garbage bin that can pull out as a functional area for that, or could be a small hamper as well in that space. So again, we have matched the finishes and details throughout so that we have that cohesion in the home. If you followed us for a while, you know I very much love to design for a flow and connection in the home, and I just feel like it has a really nice feel as you move through and everything is cohesive. We have the same privacy on the window here with the fluted glass to comply with our regulations that we need to meet. And you can see the other angle this way, again going with the 600 by 600 tiles, which I think, because they've got a little bit of a variation in them, they are quite beautiful in the sense that you won't really look at them and feel like it's just a boring 600 by 600 tile. The key in this space was when you open up the door, you do see the nice vanity. I love designs where you don't open up the door and see the toilet. Or something that's not a focal point in the space. This part of the wall was also the largest area to put the vanity in that wasn't going to impact where the window is or the toilet, allowing us to have a really good, decent amount of storage and some good space behind it that isn't going to impact where the shower is. Because we are doing a door on the shower, we do have a 100mm, I think we had 150mm piece here to ensure we could fit the towel rails behind there, and then the door won't hit that when it opens. We've got that good clearance there, which makes it easy to have your towel there, get out and then come around and grab your towel. And we will put some towel hooks on the wall as well. So this maximizes a really good footprint in the design, complies for our flow of water to the shower head. It means that we can incorporate a second bath for a family space and a toilet in this area as well. If there's multiple kids in this home, we do have included a separate powder room upstairs as well, so that we do have 2 toilets in this main family space, so that if someone is using the bathroom and one of the other kids wants to use the toilet, there is that separate powder room there. This, by having this space of roughly a 3x3, means that all of our bedrooms are a really good, decent size as well, and that we have that extra living space upstairs for kids to use with a study desk in it, and I can essentially sort of feel that being a bit more of a playroom or somewhere where the kids come and hang out with their friends. So that is our guest room, our main bathroom design for up. And this is another view of it the other way. So in this design, we have done the niche in the wall. Again, because if we had a ledge, that would have had to come out the whole way, and then the glass panel would have had to be cut around that. So that would look a little bit odd. So a niche in the wall was an easy fix for this. And we usually do our niches around 300 high. So standard, desk ruler is 330 centimeters. So that is fine for larger bottles, medium-sized bottles, and your average things that you do need to store in the shower. Again, our bench height is 900 high and our shower is 1 meter wide, and we have chosen to do the tile insert drain, which is a lot easier to take out and clean, and then have our cuts go into the flow of the middle of the tile, so that it's easy for the tiler to cut that and have that flow of water go into that space as well. Okay, so our upstairs powder room is a really fun design, and I will show you what the downstairs powder room looks like as well. So the upstairs powder room has a small curve on the wall to create a little bit of detail as you come up the stairs and you walk into the living area, to make it feel a little bit more open and like we don't have this wall jutting out to allow for this powder room. So when you have curves on walls, you can't do a normal flat tile because the tile won't be able to curve around the wall. So we have this mosaic feature tile, which is a travertine feature tile, which we're using in the downstairs powder, and we're using it around the range hood. They are the only spaces we are using it because it is a little bit more of an expensive tile. The labor to install tiles that are mosaics and feature tiles like this usually costs a bit more, so we've chosen to do a half height tile in this space, and then have a mirror and a wall light, and then a floating vanity in here from the Bella Vista range in the really beautiful latte color, and the in-wall toilet. Now we do have an edge detail around the top here, which you can see. We have chosen to do this because when you do a half height tile, and this is something to chat to your builder or your renovation company about, it will have like a thick 9-10 mil tile edge that will look quite unfinished if it's just a raw edge on the top like this. Now, a lot of builders might choose to just put like a standard metal box trim along the top, but imagine how funny that would look with the bronze tapware. And I don't know if they actually come in bronze, the box trim. So we have chosen to do a joinery piece along the top in the rubra oak that matches our other areas, just to finish that detail off really nicely versus just having the raw thick tile edge there looking a little bit unfinished. So all of those colors will pair really nicely, and the mosaic tile edge in here allows us to finish that curve off really beautifully in that wall. And like I said before, gives us our extra toilet upstairs and doesn't impact that main bathroom space if someone is using that. We also have the additional toilet. Okay, let's head downstairs. This is our beautiful main powder room downstairs that I absolutely love, and we have chosen to do a above counter sink in this one, which is in that beautiful latte color from the Bella Vista range, which I shared on my reels recently. We have that feature mosaic tile and the beautiful mirror with the bronze finish on it that matches the ensuite, and the rubra oak from Polytech, which matches the kitchen. And we are doing the curved wall in this space as the full height to allow basically for that really nice, beautiful feeling as you open the door. This would be the one used by guests and probably get quite a bit of use downstairs, being the closest toilet to all of the main areas and somewhere where we want that to look really nice. We have chosen to save costs where this inside wall here, where you open up the door, and the back of the toilet wall will just have a skirt tile which lines up down on, I'll just scroll back up, on this side at the vanity, where the vanity finishes, to save us a little bit of money in labor and tiles, because I don't feel like that is going to impact our design by not having a tile on that wall, because our focal point is this beautiful wall here. And again, we've got those really nice bronze taps from the Bella Vista range that are connecting throughout the home, and an alabaster feature light as well. Okay, let's go into scrolling through this one. And now we have the downstairs guest space. So what we have chose to do in this home design as well, we have a main living dining area downstairs, so you would have remembered seeing that on the plans in episode 2. We have another master suite / guest space downstairs, which has a robe and a bathroom attached to that as well. The bathroom is 2.8 by 2, so not a huge space, but enough to get in a shower, toilet and vanity area. And we have the face level storage in this one as well. It allowed us to, it doesn't need to be a huge space, but it's an additional bathroom if guests are staying over, or if it's multi-generational living and you might have an older parent that's living downstairs or a relative that can then use that space as their own area. This, we have chosen to do the lighter joinery colour in here in the wispwood to connect with some of those other areas in the home, and again a little bit more affordable with our 600 by 600 tiles, but still with that connection throughout. And we are doing the same porcelain finishes throughout the home as well. And we do have the shower screen in this area too, and the toilet is the in-wall toilet as well. So a really, I think, great space to connect with the rest of the home. We had enough space to allow for a ledge in this design because it wasn't going to impact the width of the shower. So it's a 100mm ledge. We always recommend roughly around that size when we are designing those ledges.
So that is all of our wet areas. We have quite a few bathrooms and powder rooms in this home, but I feel like we have covered all bases. And next up, I'm going to share the wellness space with you, which is super exciting.
Okay, welcome to our wellness bathroom space, which is another huge feature of this home that I absolutely love. So at the moment, we are looking at the bird's eye view of the 3D model. We have incorporated into this space the gym that joins this area. So we felt like so many people are really getting into their wellness and really thinking about their long-term health, and a gym space in a home, I think, when you are a busy family, is such a great asset. And that space could have any type of equipment in it. It could be Pilates. It's been designed as an open plan space to incorporate whatever you might want. The wellness retreat area then connects to that space, and we have included a sauna, cold plunge bath. We have a toilet and additional shower, and we also have the pedestal basin for hand washing too. And then this area then opens onto the outside area that you can access the pool from as well, which is really great. So this is the rendered view of the design. Now we've made this space really dark and moody because I feel like when you're in the sauna enjoying that space, that dark moody environment, similar to Loyally Recovery that we designed in Perth, gives you that calming feel, space away from the hustle and bustle of your workday life, and you can come in and enjoy this space, whether it's going to the using the gym and then having a shower, or doing a cold plunge and then jumping in the sauna. It can be used in multiple ways. So last week I had a big chat on socials about saunas, and you guys were amazing. I had so much feedback about all the different sauna types, sizing, brands, and obviously we were trying to keep this home quite affordable, but really do some good investments where needed as well. So we are going with the Revel sauna brand. They came in at a really good affordable price for the 3-person. Their 3-person sauna is just a little bit wider than some of the other brands, and it also has this really cool ceiling in it with little starlights and Bluetooth capability, all the things that the other one had. This is the infrared style, in the far infrared, which, if you know from me talking on my stories, these ones are a little bit more economical to run and don't require as much ventilation versus, say, a traditional sauna. So we haven't gone with a traditional sauna for that reason, because it is going to be in an enclosed space and we don't want issues with ventilation and things like that. So the infrared technology is really great, and Revel had some really good reviews, and I've also had quite a few of our followers reach out and say that they've got a Revel and they love it. The number one tip from people when it came to saunas was the sizing. So a 1-person, yes, obviously a 1-person. A 2-person, not necessarily a 2-person unless you really want to sit on top of each other and sweat away. A 3-person is probably a lot more comfortable for 2 people to use, and that's the main general feedback that we got. A lot of the brands all had the similar, I think they call it Canadian hemlock timber inside. All of them had sort of a few different looks and ways that they're sort of laid out, I guess. I love the Revel because of the aesthetic of this one as well. It was a little bit more modern, and I felt like suited our style. The starlights were a really nice touch. It has all different options for lighting inside for different purposes, and being able to Bluetooth in with the speakers, and I guess you can play music in there as well. But all of those other features were fairly consistent across the brands. It was very much about the aesthetic, and that price point being under $5,000 for a 3-person sauna, which was great. And they offer that delivery, and these guys are also from the east coast of Australia. I think it was Queensland, and had really good feedback about their communication and customer service. So that is what we're going with. And I think the designs look absolutely stunning from a perspective of
how it's going to look and feel in the space. And I think it caters for everything. And also from a perspective of using that pool outside, families and anyone using the pool can come through the doors of the gym area and then come into this wellness space and use the toilet and use the shower. So great for wet kids traipsing into the home. They can have their shower and get dry downstairs, or if you wanted to go and jump in the pool and do your cold plunge in there in Melbourne, you could do that and then come into the sauna and use this space as well. So a really good multi-use space that I think will get used by everyone in the family, and really incorporating what people are thinking and as far as wellness and planning into their homes in this day. So that is all of our wet area designs and the details that we are including in all of these areas, which is so exciting. Quite a lengthy episode, so thank you for sticking with us to the end. And I am so excited to announce as well that our permit got approved today. So that is a huge milestone to have our plans officially approved, building permit issued, and we can now start digging up dirt. So I hope that the next episode is actually going to be us on site doing our slab. So we'll see you in episode 7.